What's up YouTube, Darryl here from Zeph War Games, and today we have Charlie, who is the local for hire player who has been waiting for Darkwing Blast to drop for a long time. They got a brand new Link 2 and a brand new main deck monster, and Charlie has put some additional spice to the profile. So with all of that out of the way, Charlie, take it away and show us what you've got.
Righty, we'll go through main deck first. It's a bit of a weird build, but it's worked for me so far. So 3 beat first of all, you have to run 3. It's the searcher, it just searches everything you need. 3 of that. 3 of the new one, which is Rex. So the way Rex works is on summon it searches a for hire spell or trap, which is either Rookie or Mayhem are the 2 you have right now. Mayhem is Monster Reborn as a quick play, which is already pretty good. Rookie is Tributor for hire, summon 1 from deck 1 level higher or lower. And then while it's in graveyard, you can banish it to summon any for hire from your graveyard. That includes Link monsters, which is why we've got the new Link 2, which is this one. Which means you can go this, summon this back from graveyard, this, summon 2 more back from graveyard, and full combo without even having to commit to anything, which is really, really good. Other for hires, you need quite a few names to make it work. We're on 2 Philo. Philo summons another from graveyard when it's another for hire is summoned. It's more like to get to things. Your end board is a lot different how it used to be. You don't end on a lot of for hires now. You end on mostly like Elf, Masquerena, Folgo, Domper, and this is a way of getting to it. More names, we're running 2 Seal, adds back from graveyard, slightly worse than Philo, you don't go into it as often, but you kind of need to run it. It's one of the better ones. The Pops, 1 Recon and 1 Domper. Recon is for face down, Pops face down when another fire summoned, Domper Pops face up. This one is more important because this will be 9% of your end boards will end on this. This one does come up, you run it just as a sort of just in case, but most of the time Domper's the one you're going to gravitate to. And then 1 Rafale and 1 Wiz. Monster negate and spell and trap negate respectively. This gains you life points, doesn't ever come up unless you're in time. This one summon excavates up to the number of other for hires you control and adds any of the cards revealed to hand. So you could excavate like a Monster Reborn or something, you can add that. That's all the for hire names. So not as many as some decks. We're having a little bit, we've got a lot more extenders in here. We're on Punk Engine, so we're on 3 Foxy Tune, we're on 3 Z-Armin and the 1 Deer Note. We're still on this because even without Chaos Ruler, the bodies you get from this and the fact you can use it with E-Telly means you can extend past a lot of things you couldn't before. You can just sort of use these to get to Donor as well, which is huge. And just having a Millful off of Zombie Vampire in general is enough. Because again, you've got Donor, you've got Rex and Graveyard. You've got a lot of things that benefit from being in there. So even just extenders, they're fine. So all these. And we're on 3 of a slightly weird hand trap, which is Ghost Ogre. And the reason for this, partially because E-Telly, but partially because instead of Chaos Ruler, we now have, and I'll get to it in a bit, we run Jam Dragon Drive now. And Jam Dragon is on summon, pay 600, add a level 3 psychic from deck to hand. So the idea is you go jam this, so you go the Z-Armin and Deer Note into this one, Deer Note 2 summon back the Foxy Tune, and then Z-Armin 3 to give this attack, so you chain block everything. Just gives you a little bit of extra value. And it also triggers Fold as well, which is not so. That's all the monsters. Spells, running 3 of Rookie, cards just really, really good. Tribute any monster, summon another monster for hire from deck with 1 level higher or lower. Doesn't have to tribute a for hire monster for cost. You can just use it to tribute Z-Armin to get Rex from deck and just combo off of that. If you want. And it also lets you dodge a lot of like things like Impermanent Veiler and things. Run 3 of it because it's a spell and you can touch it. Mayhem, it's just Monster Reborn as a quick play. It's just Monster Reborn. Just play 3 of it, it's good. 3 of still the best extender in the deck, which is E-Telly. This into Z-Armin is still cracked. This into Ghost Ogre to do stuff like stop going for Elf and double cost plays comes up as well. It's just really good, and you're going to keep playing Punk Engine until it gets limited, which you. We've got 3 Dark Ruler no Morph. You have to play this one. It's obligatory. You have to play this one now. There is no other version. This can kind of be any disruption you want, but you don't have as many spaces because you kind of get tunneled into running Ghost Ogre, so this is just a good one. We're running a few one-offs. Engage and Drones. If you've played for hire for a while, you'll know that these 2 are just kind of really good because this is just 2 bodies without a summon. So you do these, any normal summon gets you to Folgo. It does, you note if you're not running like Hayate and Link and stuff in the extra deck, which you aren't anymore because of the space, this doesn't let you get beat from deck because the token is Warrior, which is really annoying. But you can kind of play around it with Donor and things like that. And then Monster Reborn and Call By. Monster Reborn because you excavate a lot, the file can add it. Just generally good. You have a lot more targets for it now. And then Call By because it's Call By. You just play Call By. And then extra deck. We're on 2 donor for now. I might cut this down to 1. I really like having multiple elves, but for now I wanted to try this out, so it's at 2. It's a good, really good card. It's any 2 monsters, so you can use this. You can get to this off of your punk combos. You can get to this off of engaged into drones if you really wanted to. But the important thing is this can essentially on summon doesn't do anything. It can tribute a link monster to summon up to 2 for hires from hand or graveyard. That doesn't target. There's another effect which is you can tribute a for hire to pop a monster on the field. That doesn't ever come up. You only care about the summon 2 from graveyard. Because you can go Rex, and this is in the graveyard, Rex, banish it, summon this, get some combos. And importantly, because this summons one, then the other, it triggers the for hire that you summon. So if you do this, summon beat, then summon another one, it'll trigger the beat. Important to know. That comes up all the time, so you've got to use it. We're on some XZs. Actually, I'll go through the links first. We're on 2 Forgo. You can't really get away with 1. You have to run 2 of them. It's really, really cracked. It's draw 3, it's summon anything you want from deck as long as it's different types of the ones you use to summon it. You have to run at least 2. I mean, you can get away with 1, but just run 2 of it. You'll thank me later. And then come the barrage of really weird XZs. So we have Kagari to make the drones online, because you have to run Kagari. We have Sprite Elf and Masquerena. These 2 are kind of your main end board right now, because of a few things. Partly because Elf can get you back Rex from the graveyard, so you end on these 2 plus Folgo plus a Domper usually. Elf summon Rex back gets you the search, gets you the pop off of Domper, which then gets you the draw 3 off of Folgo. So this end board is like a +4 and a pop at base, and you can add stuff onto it afterwards. So these 2 you have to have, and then we're going up a bit. Applesauce, because you got to run at least 1 good link 4. Mostly for Masquerena, does come up. We're on Boral Sword instead of access code, partially because I have a nice one, and partially because, truth be told, I haven't got a spare access code right now. If you have access, it's probably better to run that, but for now this is fine. It's just a finisher. We're on Close Goddess. Close Goddess is really good in this, because you end on a lot of monsters. Sometimes you can just make this during the main phase, because using this to blank an opponent's board comes up more often than I thought it would. But a lot of the time you're going to be using Masquerena to get into this, but still really good. And then we're on Arrival Cyberse. So the reason behind this is because your end board is essentially by itself everything you need to get to this. Your end board, you can't use Fogo's late material, but you end on these 2 plus Dogpo, which is a wind. And then you've got another summon from graveyard, which is the Rex, which is an earth. That gives you fire, dark, wind, earth, and that's a link 6 on board. And that's just off of the regular end board. So dropping this on people does get some reactions. And a lot of time people just aren't prepared to play around it, so you will win games just from having it in there sometimes. We're on a couple of synchros. We're on the Jam Dragon, as you probably may have remembered from the combo. We run this instead of Chaos Ruler. It's a bit copium, but it does work. And we're on Psychic and Punisher for similar reasons. It's a good synchro to have. It does come up a lot, and you get a little bit of life point manipulation because you pay 600 twice, and you've also got gains. This works both ways, weirdly enough. If you have more life points than your opponent, it still gains attack, which is quite funny. We're also on Gigantic Sprite, because you have a lot of level 2s in this deck, and pulling level 2s out of the deck is just as good. So you can do stuff like, if you go by a Folga, you get like a Philo, summon Domper, summon Rex, overlay both of them, pull out another Rex from the deck, so you can use the Graveyard Banish for more extension and so on and so forth. It's just a good card in general. And then the last one is Zombie Vampire to make the whole Punk engine work.
So just on the Zombie Vampire, do you not feel that it's really risky with the amount of tiers that are running around?
It is. Into tier, you have to be very, very careful about going this line. The good news is you don't have to, because your Punk line also just naturally goes into Folgo as well, because you get 2 bodies at the cost of an E-Telly half the time. So it kind of functions like Engage, where if you know they're not on tier, you can just play this out, get a summon from Graveyard, you're all Gucci. If you know you are against something that's going to benefit from it, you can just skip straight to Folgo without going through this. And it's just as good. You miss out on some of the mills, but you can pull them out of the deck instead, so you can kind of play around it.
Excellent. Cool, so that's obviously the first rendition of Fur Hires. It's going to be interesting to see how it continues to develop. It's always nice when you get a legacy deck like this that either gets slow support over time, or every now and then where it just brings out a nice bit of decent support. The Link and the Monster is very good additions to the deck, so it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you to Charlie for putting the profile together for us and for you guys to watch as well. Any questions, by all means, put them in the comments down below. I'm pretty sure he'll be more than happy to answer them for you and kind of go from there. But as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.